Hello and welcome to this video on flipped learning. Thank you for tuning in. I've been asked to share my own experiences of flipped learning at our PD session on Tuesday. So I thought I could hardly stand up and present that in a traditional format given my subject matter. So I thought, well, I better flip it. So here's the flipped classroom on the flipped classroom. And thank you for being a sport and getting involved. Now, I've used flipped learning on and off for a couple of years. I'm certainly no expert in it by any means, but I am interested in it, and I think it does hold many benefits for our students, and so I want to get better at using it. Now, I first came across the idea via Twitter, which incidentally I find to be a source of great ideas and inspiration for my teaching. Now, the flipped learning movement has been around for a while, but really gathered pace with the creation of YouTube 10 years ago and the Khan Academy tutorials that followed. Now, these video lessons have provided much of the inspiration for the current surge in the popularity of flipped learning. Now, at Clintondale School in the United States, they took it a step further and in 2011 made the decision to flip every lesson. So they flipped the school, every lesson, every day. Their grades are up, so they're very, very happy with the move. That's an interesting case. Now, the flip model is just based on a reversal of the traditional classroom dynamic, where you have a centralised lesson delivered by the teacher with follow-up tasks done at home, and that's flipped around so that the provision of instruction is by video or other means for the students to watch or read or listen outside of class, freeing up the class time then for collaborative work practices. Now, I have found that this personalises the student's learning experience. It makes the difficult task of differentiation much easier to achieve, and it allows me to work one-on-one with every student in every lesson, which is perhaps the most exciting aspect of flipped learning for me. And there is always the option of tapping into one of the vast array of excellent YouTube clips that already exist in order to help you get your message across.
The flipped classroom addresses these problems and makes learning more personal. First, the teacher makes a video that delivers the content they'd usually teach in class. Then they share it online with students who can watch it before the next lesson. This leaves the teacher free to spend class time leading activities that help students apply the knowledge. Students can rewind and re-watch a video as many times as they like and come back to class with questions for the teacher. So keeping up with the class is no longer an issue. Students can access the video at any time using mobile devices, giving them the ability to learn more independently. Instead of sitting and listening, students can spend class time applying knowledge in more practical ways. And teachers are free to spend their time working with students and giving them individual support and attention.
Well, those penguins are really enjoying their flipped classroom. So, what are the tools? What do I need to start flipping my lessons, if that's what we want to do? Well, some screencasting software is absolutely essential, and that's free. I'm using Screencast-O-Matic, so that's dead easy. It just is it's a screenshot, and it's just a recording of whatever you put on your screen as you're watching now. An external microphone, not free, but also an essential piece of kit in that the inbuilt microphones on your computers are very difficult to listen to. Your audiences will thank you if you invest in an external microphone. I find using OneNote, so I use OneNote with my screencasting software. I find that's an excellent way to help students understand a concept or a method, and certainly in my subject, maths, to be able to write out a solution and talk it through, give it some commentary, explain the steps. Students certainly find that really useful. And so if I was teaching solving quadratics here by completing the square, this is typically something that students have a lot of difficulty with, and so I might want to explain really carefully that this is the method I want them to use, is to initially clear a space here. I want to get that 2 out the way. It's not helping me, so I'm going to bump it over to the other side of the equation. Obviously it becomes -2 over there when you do that, and you might just make the point that that guy there, he's got to go. So and what that does is leaves a space here for me to complete the square. We know that a +9 goes in there. I won't bore you with the details, but if I do it on one side, I do it to the other side, and now magically I've got a beautiful perfect square on the left. What a wonderful thing. I've got 7 there on the right hand side. I now am in a position where I can take the square root of both sides, and I'm one step away from solving the equation. Drum roll, round of applause. And so just being able to talk through as you write, massively helpful for students. The PDF annotator, I'm sure I'm sure you'd find most useful. So for going through an exam or a worksheet or any sort of printed material, you can put into PDF form. It's really really useful to be able to do that, and for the students to be able to have a talking set of solutions for their exams. So in this case, I mean, we could print this out and they could read through the solutions, but to have someone talking through the solutions, getting that commentary, getting the expression, certainly from familiar voice as well, their teacher. They do find that really helpful. So in this case, I'd be saying, well, okay, well we've got to this stage of the equation, which is really good, but what we need to do is we now need to collect our like terms. I'd just like to get my pen activated. So I've got x minus 3 on the left, and I've got 2x minus 10 on the right, and we're looking to solve it. I'm going to leave that to you. It's going to be one of my multiple choice questions around about now. So that's really useful to use. What else do we use? Well, in maths we've got these machines here, these calculators, which are fantastic, but their functionality is quite complex. And so to be able to put that on the screen, make a video of the steps involved in doing certain things that are really important for their mathematics. Now I've got a cubic graph here on my screen, and I might want to find out what the coordinates here of my maximum point there, my local maximum. So I show the students, and I'm not sure about how to do this, but you go into menu, let's analyze the graph, let's find the maximum, and then click in the zone that we're after. There we go, it's located it. Look at that, maximum in that locality 1.88. So that's fantastic, and we've demonstrated that. That's good. And there's many things we could do. I'll show one more thing, and that is, it'd be great, wouldn't it, to be able to bring up GeoGebra to demonstrate to students how the trig curves are derived from the coordinates of a point moving around the unit circle. So just to be able to click on a button to be able to talk through what's that about. I could pause that. I could point to certain elements of that graph and explain why it is moving the way it is. Really slick output, nice professional product, and one that I think that students really enjoy. So we'll leave it there. I look forward to continuing the conversation on Tuesday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.